Sometimes dinner on the homestead sneaks up on you, right? Sneaks up on you and punches you in the face. So tonight we're going to try an experimental dinner plan. I am going to ask each one of the kids if they could choose anything to eat for dinner. And I'm headed to the grocery store. So if they could choose anything that I could buy that they could eat for dinner, what would it be? We'll see what answers we get. Are you eating my corn? Yeah. I shucked the corn that we got from the field the other day. You should check out the Flying Corn vlog. And I cut one off the cob. I plan to cut some more, but Emma keeps chomping on it. So, if you could choose anything to eat for dinner that I could buy at the grocery store today, what would it be? Anything.
Frozen pizza.
Frozen pizza. Let's look at the Lego explosion over here. Missy, if you could eat anything from the grocery store for dinner, what would it be?
Anything, even something I couldn't have.
Well, it's got to be something you can dietarily eat.
Yeah.
Missy can't eat gluten. So, if you could have anything, what would you choose?
There's this mac and cheese thing with broccoli in it.
Oh, the frozen mac and cheese. Okay, Sam.
I would choose pizza.
Pizza? Frozen pizza? What would you choose?
Ice cream.
Well, how about a dinner item?
Pizza.
Pizza! Emma in the background is trying to choose a different item than what she already said. So she keeps over here going, what are you
Cereal.
Cereal! Cereal! Cereal's not something we eat on a regular basis. It's usually reserved for times of intense laziness
Or birthday.
or birthdays. So, we'll have to see what me and Dad bring home from the grocery store.
So, somehow I got roped into going to the grocery store for dinner. I don't usually like to go to the grocery store for any reason.
That's true.
But here we are. And why are we going?
Because it is kid dinner tonight. And I'm letting the kids choose dinner. Sarah chose ice cream. We'll just kind of see what...
Wait, so we're going to the store to get dinner for the kids.
Yes.
And they chose dinner.
They chose dinner. The kids, I asked each kid what they would like to eat for dinner. If they could choose anything from the grocery store. So, you're in for a surprise.
You didn't ask me what I wanted.
You're not a kid.
Oh.
So our kid dinner tonight was an amazing success. Everybody was really happy, other than Sarah, who was sad we did not bring home ice cream. So she says, tomorrow, can we have ice cream tomorrow? Maybe. But it was really fun. Fun to do something like that once in a while.
It was fun. So, day one of goats. If we could sum it up with one word, I think we've talked about this. That word would be stress, right?
Yes.
Very stressful. Why was it stressful for you?
Well, the goats were stressed. I was stressed. Long drive with 4 kids to go get them from Julianne over at Dirt Patch.
I didn't go with her.
Yeah. So just stress of that, stress of the drive and getting home and not having an exact place that we knew we were going to put the goats. And it's just a lot to do in a day. Took a little bit more out of me than I expected it to. A lot of stress trying to figure out milking, trying to figure out, I've never dealt with a goat. And so just a lot of unknown things that I just wasn't ready for. And I don't know that you can really prepare for that. So I don't...
You can, to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But definitely, I think we were a little bit rushed into it, and I think that contributed to it. And, we weren't really prepared with infrastructure or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
But
lots of stress, but that stress I feel is coming down, right?
Yes, I was able to catch some milk today, and I was just giggling and dancing all over. It's just, the stress is worth it. Being pushed into it, you know, and Julianne didn't push. I mean, I pushed Jonah into it, I would say. I was very pushy. I want to do this. And so then I felt bad that I was stressed and putting that on him when it was my idea to do this. So that was kind of adding to my stress too, that I didn't want to bring him more problems because this was kind of my idea.
Yeah, you say push, but we should clarify you didn't force. Like you never forced. I never felt forced.
Good.
So,
I nagged.
whatever you want to call it.
He's a good man.
So yeah. So what I've done now, what we're trying to figure out tonight is our semi-long-term, at least for the 30 days, solution. How we're gonna set up, where we're gonna set them up permanently. We've got a makeshift pen at the moment, but it's not where we'd like them to be. It was just get them in a comfortable place, as comfortable as possible. So.
And we want to figure out some grazing situations and things that are safe for
Right.
everybody involved.
Yeah. So right now we've got the cows that are grazing on a section of pasture that we're going to rotate around. We want to do that with the goats, and we've got chickens that we've got in the mobile chicken coop, the chickshaw, that we're moving around the property. So all these moving pieces, who's going to go where and when, and at the same time, how do we provide shelter as we move them around? And so we've got a few ideas. So what I've done is I've drawn a map of our current situation minus the goats as far as what's where on the property. Hopefully this comes through. So you can see we've got, you know, the cows down here, coops right here, chicken coop. We're going to be converting that to turkeys, and then we've got pigs up here, the pig pen we built. And this is a road that goes around, and we've got our garden, and then rabbits down here. Right now the chickens are in their chickshaw right here. That'll be moving soon. So our plan is to put, we think, goats down here, just fence off with T-posts and some cattle panels, since our goats don't have any horns. Fence off a little permanent area where we can fence them in if we need to clip toes, take care of them, and then use the time to, so I'll put goats right there, right? No, I'll just keep popping it up and showing them. So we'll do goats and a little bit of a pen. And right now, cows basically have pasture out this way in a section like this. The goats, we're going to keep them penned up and utilize the electric net fencing that we've got over here with the chickens. We're going to take that from the chickens, set it up in the pen to get the goats sensitive to that electric fencing, and then move them around the property in that, it's about 100-foot perimeter fencing, and there's only 2 goats. What I'd like to do is have them, you know, kind of in a confined area, see how long it takes them to mow that down, and then we'll know how often we need to move them, and hopefully that 100-foot perimeter will be enough to make it through one day, so we're at least only having to move them once a day. And then we're going to make some kind of makeshift shelter that can be ultra portable. And we've thought a couple different things, but I think the design we're going to go with is a cattle panel that we bend over, arch over, and throw a tarp over, and then have a 2x4 frame at the bottom, so it'll be light enough that you could just drag it to the new area. But that'll give us a penned off area we can keep them confined in for cutting hooves,
milking,
and whatever we need to do. And we'll use that electric fencing to move them around. That's the idea. The chickens, so we're taking their electric fence and we're going to move the chickens. We'd like to move the chickens. Right now they've just been right around the house, you know, fertilizing, taking care of weeds and all that around the house, and we're at the last section that we wanted for that, so we want to move them out into some of the pastured areas. A little bit farther away from us than we would like, but
There's tons of grasshoppers out there.
grasshoppers and bugs. And
Yes, we would love for them to get that protein in
Yeah.
them. Maybe get fattened up a little bit before winter sets in.
So we love to see chickens free range, but with that comes all the poop and everything that they do, and it gets overwhelming, especially when you have the more chickens you have, and geese and turkeys that crap a lot bigger. So
Yes, so we're hoping if we put it further away from the house, they'll stay away from the house.
yeah, so they'll free range around where we move the chickshaw. So we'll move the chickshaw down farther away at night, go board them up and let them out. It'll be farther to walk each day, but for now that's the plan. We'll see how it goes and obviously adjust and change where we need to go. So
Yeah. And I think we're going to move the rabbits too.
yes,
So we've talked about moving the rabbits to a new location.
we started out right here, and we're just not liking it. So we've had all of this area that's grass, and we just don't have enough water to keep it green. And so we've let this die this year. We're going to change this into a garden with raised beds next year. And this we'd like to keep green grass. I didn't think I'd care about this being green, but I kind of do. I don't like seeing it as brown as it is. So I want to move these rabbits. We're thinking of moving them, over here with the chicken coop?
Yeah. I think
Or the
so.
turkey coop now. That's going to be the turkey coop.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're, in our past experience with turkeys, they get to a certain size and they will pick on the chickens and they just don't get along. They kind of need their own thing. So we're going to convert the chicken coop, stationary one, to a turkey coop, since we're going to harvest turkeys this year. They're not going to be sticking around too long.
And if we ever get a breeding pair, we'll have a home for
Yeah.
them and for the broody hen and all that.
Yeah.
So,
Then, if things go well and we like the goats enough to keep them, we feel like it's something we're going to do, we'll figure out a more permanent structure. Probably not down here, because this area is really sloped. It's not necessarily flat. And so I want to move them maybe up here. Or even, I kind of like to keep all the animals close. I'm just not sure how that's going to work with grazing them. But if we keep doing the electric fencing and we move that around, then we're set. So there's no
Right.
worry about that. So
Right.
that'll probably work out. And I just threw a bunch of T-posts in tonight, some cattle panels in about a 100-foot perimeter fence right now. We'll set up the electric fence inside that, get them sensitive to that, and go from there. That's the plan.
and just throwing it out there, we have all the piping and everything to do to put in a water line over to the animals.
Yeah.
But we need something to dig it. So if anybody local wants to come help us out, we did rent a trencher earlier this year. It didn't really work out. So I'm kind of too wet and we need more of a little excavator or something. So
We have heavy clay soil, and we tried to trench way too early. It was too moist.
yeah.
So the situation with the water, I just want to show you real quick, is right about, here, let's see, here. We have our cisterns and the water line runs to the house. We want to tee off of that and run it around back here and put a spigot back here so that we're not running hoses all over the place.
It's so fun.
Which, we're doing.
Yeah.
And kids have been doing really good at dealing with it, but
Yes. But during the
make
winter,
it easier. So.
yeah, during the winter, there's a concern. You can't have the hoses, so we're gonna have to pack buckets and.
Oh yeah, so we definitely got to get that done this year.
And we have all the supplies. We just need to get it in the ground.
Just trying to round up an affordable source for a backhoe
Yeah.
or trencher. I think we could trench now, but anyway, that's where we're at. that's the situation we're going into. Wanted to share it with you. Hope you'll stick around and follow us through this adventure, and look forward to sharing it with you.
Yes.
So,
We hope to see you tomorrow.
thanks for joining us.